Okay, let's get started. We have chapter 3, homework 6. Okay, this is number 67. Right, so the diagram at right represents only half of a shape that has the graph of y equals 1 as a line of symmetry. So line of symmetry, so I'm going to use a line right here. Okay. And it's saying that our line of symmetry is going to be a line y equals 1. So the line of symmetry is this line right here. Okay, that means that top part, that shape right there. Okay, well, what kind of shape am I looking at? I'm looking at this shape right here. So let me just that one to there, there. Oops. Let me redo that. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's try this again. Okay. So this part there to that part there. So that right there is going to get reflected across that blue line, which means that this is going to be up 2 and over 2. Then we're going to have something that looks like down 2 and over 2. So it's going to be something that looks similar to this. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks to the right. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks to the right. About right there. And then this is going to be down 2 and then to the right. Sorry. Down 2 and to the left 2. So I'm going to be going the opposite. It's going to be going up 2 and then to the left 2. So that would be a shape that's going to be reflected across. Right. And the coordinates are let's see. So this coordinate right here is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So the x is 3, the y is 3. Then that means that this coordinate is going to be 1, 2, 3, and then down 1. So this will be 3, down 1. Right. This coordinate back here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 3. So this coordinate will be 7, comma 3. And this coordinate down here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and down 1. And you can see there's some similarities. Oop, -1. And this is -1 also. That was my mistake. Okay, and these coordinates are going to be the same as what was given. So this coordinate is going to be 1, 1. And this coordinate right here is going to be the same as what was given. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 1. So this is 5, comma 1. Alright, so that's number 67. 6.8. Find the length of a square that is 5x plus 2 units. Right, so first, you have a lot of information already. First, you're given a square. So draw a square, maybe something like this. Okay, and it says that the side of this square is 5x plus 2. And square has all the side lengths being the same. So if this is 5x plus 2, then that means that this is also 5x plus 2, and this is also 5x plus 2, and this is also 5x plus 2. Right? Assuming that the perimeter is 48 units, complete the following problems. Okay, so part A, write an equation to represent this problem. So we know that the perimeter equals 5x plus 2 and plus 5x plus 2. Okay, we just did these two sides, 5x plus 2 and another 5x plus 2, and then we got another 5x plus 2 down here. And then we got another 5x plus 2. So you actually have 4 of those 5x plus 2 going on. Okay, so that's your equation for the perimeter, but they do tell you that your perimeter is 48. So instead of P, you'll put 48 equals 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2. Okay, next part, you have to solve for x. We'll solve for x. Right, so I'm going to get rid of this so I can have a little bit of space. Oop. And actually, I'm going to get rid of that square also. Okay, so 48 equals 5x plus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on this side over here. So 48 equals, right, and that's 5x plus 2 right here, and then another 5x plus 2, so that's 10x, 15x, 20x. So 48 equals 20x, and then we have 2, 4, 6, and 8. So 48 equals 20x plus 8. And that's your equation. And now you're going to go ahead and solve that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this because we already did that. Right. So you can just say, you know what, this is our equation right here. Write an equation to represent. So 48 equals 20x plus 8. That would be the more simplified equation. Okay, but I do like that. 48 equals 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2 plus 5x plus 2. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and solve this equation. So by solving it, I'm going to have to go ahead and do inverse operations. So I'm going to have to solve for x. Okay, x is sitting right here. That means we need to get rid of the 8 and then get rid of the 20. So to get rid of the 8, we need to subtract 8 because subtraction of 8 is the inverse of addition of 8. So the 8 cancel out, becomes 0, and we have 48 minus 8 is 40 equals 20x. Now we're going to do the inverse operation of times 20 would be division of 20. And 20 divided by 20, that's going to give you a big 1. So you're left with x on the right hand side, and 40 divided by 20 is going to give you 2. So solve for x right here. Write in the equation. Right here. Okay. What is the area of the square? Okay, so back to the square. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted it, but it's already done. So I have to do this again. So again, we have a square, and that square, each side is 5x plus 2. And I'll just do one just to show you. Okay, and we know that x is 2. Okay, from here, x is 2. So that means that we're going to put the 2 right in place of the x, right there. Okay, and that's not 52, it's 5 times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 plus 2 will give you 12. So the top length is going to be 12. So that's going to give you 12, and if this side is 12, that means that all the sides are 12. Okay, but for the area, okay, for the area of the square, all we need is the length times the width, or the base times the height, however you want to write that down. So I'm just going to write it as area equals the base times the height, and the base is 12 times, and the height is 12. So the area is 12 times 12, or 144 square units. And since we don't know what kind of units they are, we're going to go ahead and write down units squared. Okay. So what is the area of the square? The area of the square is 144 units squared. And that's 68. And the last one, number 70. Write the equation of the line containing the points given on the table below. Okay, so because you have x and y, and x and y, and x and y, and x and y, because you have a whole bunch of points, actually 4 of them, you don't need to go and use all 4. You really just need 2. Okay, and you can use any of the 2 sets, but I'm going to go ahead and use the 2, 5. Sorry about that. 2, 5, and I'm going to use a 3, 8. And I'm using these because these are positive, and positive tend to be a little easier, at least for me. So I'm using 2, 5, 2 comma 5, and 3 comma 8. Right? So first write an equation line. Every line has the equation y equals mx plus b. And what we're going to do first is we're going to find out what the m is before we do anything. So to find the m, we're going to use the formula for finding the slope, which is take the y's and subtract them. And remember the order that you're subtracting them. You can go 5 minus 8 or 8 minus 5. Right? So the slope is found by taking the change in the y. Right? And in our case, we're going to go and do 8 minus 5. So notice I'm starting in the back with the 8. Okay? Now I need to remember that because the slope is going to be finished off with dividing by the change in the x. And the change in the x is going to be starting in the back, take the x, subtract them. So it'll be 3 minus 2 in the back. So it'll be 3 minus 2. So 8 minus 5 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So our slope is 3 over 1, or we can just say 3. So that y equals mx plus b. Yep. Now we can just say, well, the m is just 3. So instead of m, I can just write down 3. Just like that. Okay. Now, next thing we need to figure out is what is the b. Okay. And the b is found by taking another, or writing down another y equals mx plus b. Okay. And what we're going to do, and again, this is just one way of doing it. There's other ways, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our slope, what we found, and we found that the slope was 3. So we're going to use 3 and we're going to put it right in place of the slope. Okay. And up next, we're going to take one of our points, okay, either 2, 5 or 3, 8. Okay, you pick. Heck, you can use one of the other ones that you didn't pick. But me, I'm going to go ahead and use the 2, 5. Okay, I'm going to use the 2, 5. So the 2 is the x and the 5 is the y. So right here where it says x, I'm going to go ahead and use 2. So it'll be 3 times 2. Do not put 32. It's going to be 3 times 2. And instead of y, I'm going to write down 5. And then the rest of it, just copy it down and solve for the b, because b is the only unknown at the moment. So work on that. You get 5 equals 3 times 2 is 6 plus b. And now you're going to try to solve for b by using inverse operations. So you need to get rid of that positive 6. Inverse operation of positive 6 is negative 6. And those will cancel out or simplify out to be 0, and you will end up with b equals negative 1. Alright, and since you found your b, you're going to go up here to your b, and you're going to write down that b is actually negative 1. So instead of writing b down, you're going to write down minus 1. And notice that I wrote down plus and then a minus 1. Well, a positive times a negative, okay, that really comes out to be a negative. So instead of writing plus minus 1, you should just write down minus 1. And that is your final answer. Y equals 3x minus 1. Alright?